Deepwater Operational Briefing Protocol, Document 7DELTAK Suruga Bay Descent Procedures, Protocol 7 Delta Kilo. This briefing is classified for authorized deepwater operators conducting resource extraction in Suruga Bay Sector 9. You are advised to review this material in its entirety before descent. Operational depth 150 to 800 meter. Twilight to midnight zone transition. Visibility effectively 0. The company wishes to inform you of certain biological entities endemic to your operational theater. These entities are not hostile. They are simply present. Macrochaira campfera. Common designation, Japanese spider crab. Leg span 4 meter. Larger than your bathyscaphe viewport. These organisms do not produce bioluminescence. They do not vocalize. You will not hear them approach. You may feel the water displacement approximately 3 seconds before contact. This is considered adequate warning time by company safety standards. Protocol Section Alpha, Recognition Parameters. Macrochaira campferi possess certain characteristics you must understand. First, they continue growing throughout their lifespan. Documented lifespans exceed 100 years. Some specimens at operational depth are estimated at 150 years of age. The larger the specimen, the older it is. The older it is, the more it has witnessed. Second, these organisms practice decorative camouflage. They attach debris to their carapace. Sponges, anemones, pieces of metal, fabric. What appears to be wreckage debris may be ambulatory. You are advised not to approach what you assume to be stationary objects. Protocol Section Bravo, Historical Context. Suruga Bay contains significant wartime wreckage. Operational Sector 9 includes remains from 1943 through 1945. Multiple vessel classifications. Confirmed casualties, 847 personnel. Macrochaira campferi are scavengers. They consume organic material that reaches the sea floor. All organic material. In 1952, fishing vessel Tayo Maru recovered 43 specimens in a single net. Deck crew reported specimens were decorated with unusual materials. Clothing fragments. Metal identification tags. One tag was traced to USS Indianapolis personnel. Deceased, July 1945. The specimen wearing this tag was estimated at 65 years of age. It had been feeding for 7 years. You may observe similar decorative patterns during your descent. The company advises you to disregard origin speculation. Maintain operational focus. Protocol Section Charlie, Behavioral Patterns. Macrochaira campferi exhibit slow, deliberate movement. Approach velocity, approximately meter per minute. This creates the impression of safety. This impression is incorrect. Strike velocity when prey is within range, meter per second. Claw pressure, sufficient to compromise viewport seals rated below 900 psi. Your bathyscaphe viewports are rated at 850 psi. During molting periods, territorial aggression increases by estimated 340%. Molting occurs between April and June. Current date, May 17. You are descending during peak territorial behavior. Additionally, Macrochaira campferi aggregate during mating season. Documented aggregations exceed 200 individuals. If you observe one specimen, you are advised to assume proximate presence of additional specimens. Single specimen sightings are statistically anomalous. Protocol Section Delta Incident Reference. In 1989, submersible research vessel Shinkai conducted deepwater survey at 600-meter depth. Sector 9. Your current operational area. ROV footage documented single specimen engaging in decorative behavior. The specimen was attaching neoprene material to its carapace. Material analysis matched wetsuit fragments. Cross-reference with missing personnel records identified diver Tanaka Hiroshi. Disappeared October 1987. Depth at time of incident 590 meter. The specimen was estimated at 80 years of age based on carapace width. It had been wearing pieces of Mr. Tanaka for approximately 18 months. More recently, 2019 monitoring installation at 720 meter. Unmanned camera system. Motion-activated recording. Footage shows single large specimen approaching camera. Approach duration 4-5 minutes. The specimen then remained motionless before the lens for 6 hours. At hour 6, the specimen attacked the camera housing with both claws. Camera destroyed. Total system failure. Timestamp analysis revealed the attack occurred at 1300 hours, local time. The following day, motion activation triggered at 12:55. Attack at 1300 hours. This pattern repeated for 4 consecutive days. The specimen returned to the same location at the same time. It demonstrated temporal awareness and spatial memory. Your descent is scheduled for 1300 hours. Protocol Section Echo Operational Guidelines. You are required to observe the following procedures. Guideline 1. Maintain continuous sonar monitoring. Macrochaira kempferi present as irregular solid returns. Distinguish from wreckage by observing position change over time. If debris appears to shift location, it is not debris. Guideline 2. Monitor water displacement sensors. Specimen approach generates pressure variance detectable at 5-meter range. If you detect variance, initiate evasive ascent immediately. Do not wait for visual confirmation. Visual confirmation means the specimen is within strike range. Guideline 3. Avoid stationary positioning exceeding 10 minutes. Macrochaira kempferi interprets stillness as potential food source. Movement indicates living prey. Stillness indicates carrion. You do not wish to be interpreted as carrion. Guideline 4. If you observe one specimen, assume multiple specimens in proximity. Activate 360-degree scanning. Specimens approach from all vectors, including directly below your vessel. Guideline 5. Examine all wreckage carefully before approach. Specimens camouflage themselves with metallic debris. If wreckage displays irregular organic protrusions, maintain minimum 15-meter distance. What appears to be a crushed hull section may have legs. Guideline 6. During April through June, territorial aggression is heightened. If you observe a specimen exhibiting soft carapace or pale coloration, it is molting. Molting specimens are vulnerable and will defend themselves with lethal force. Initiate emergency ascent. Do not attempt to evade laterally. Vertical distance is your only reliable escape vector. Guideline 7. If specimen makes contact with viewport, do not activate external lighting. Macrochaira kempferi possess pressure-sensitive receptors. Sudden light causes defensive strike response. Maintain darkness. Ascend slowly. The specimen may disengage if it does not perceive threat. If it does not disengage within 90 seconds, your viewport will fail. Protocol Section Foxtrot, Specimen Identification. Certain individual specimens have been documented repeatedly across multiple expeditions. The company has assigned identification codes for tracking purposes. Specimen, estimated age 120 years. Leg span meter. Identifying characteristic, carapace decorated with dog tag chain. Origin, USS Indianapolis, 1945. Specimen has been observed in Sector 9 on 7 separate occasions. Most recent, February 2023. It appears to favor the wreckage of destroyer Yamakaze. Specimen, estimated age 85 years. Leg span meter. Identifying characteristic. Left claw exhibits regeneration scar tissue. The claw was severed in 1998 during fishing net entanglement. It has fully regrown. Specimen demonstrates heightened territorial behavior. It has been observed attacking ROV units on 4 documented occasions. All attacks occurred in same 50-meter radius. You will be operating within this radius. Specimen, estimated age unknown. Leg span meter. Specimen exceeds documented maximum size parameters. Identifying characteristic. Carapace exhibits extensive barnacle colonization. Barnacle age rings suggest specimen minimum age of 150 years. Specimen was first photographed in 1962. At that time, it was already estimated at 90 years of age. It has been observed in Sector 9 every year since documentation began. It does not migrate. It does not leave. Specimen remains in Sector 9 year-round. Behavioral analysis suggests it is guarding something. The company has not determined what. Protocol Section Golf, Emergency Procedures. In the event of specimen contact with bathyscaphe hull, execute the following sequence. Step 1. Cease all movement. Disable propulsion systems. Silence all internal equipment. Specimens respond to vibration. Vibration indicates living prey. You must simulate lifelessness. If pressure exceeds 400 psi on any single point, the specimen is testing structural integrity. Additionally, you may experience sensation of being observed.
Clear.
This is not paranoia. Macrocheira kempferi possess chemoreceptors capable of detecting human chemical signatures at range of 200 meter. If you feel watched, you are likely correct. You may also experience intrusive thoughts regarding specimen age and experience. Specifically, what a 150-year-old organism has witnessed. The company advises you to disregard such speculation. However, for operational awareness, you are informed of the following. Specimen, if it is indeed 150 years old, would have been present during the following events. 1873, birth year. Meiji-era Japan. Initial industrialization of Suruga Bay fishing operations. 1905, Russo-Japanese War. Naval engagement in Tsushima Strait. Casualties estimated 4500. 1923, Great Kanto earthquake. Tsunami wave height 12 meter. Coastal casualties swept into Suruga Bay, unknown number. 1941 through 1945, Pacific War. Suruga Bay served as strategic naval route. Documented sinkings in Sector 9, 14 vessels. Estimated casualties, 847 personnel. Bodies that sank to operational depth would require approximately 6 hours to reach seafloor. Macrochaira kempferi can detect carrion from 3 kilometers distance. Specimen has been present for 80 years of human conflict. It has fed continuously throughout this period. The company cannot speculate on what memories, if any, such an organism retains. You are advised to disregard this information. Focus on operational objectives. Protocol Section Juliet, Equipment Limitations. Your bathyscaphe is equipped with standard deepwater operational systems. External lighting, 2 forward-mounted halogen arrays. Effective range 8 meter. Macrochaira kempferi leg span 4 meter. You will see the claws before you see the body. Sonar array, forward-facing only. Lateral and rear approaches will not register until specimen is within 3 meter. Propulsion system, maximum ascent rate 15 meter per minute. Specimen strike velocity, meter per second. You cannot outrun them. Viewport construction, reinforced acrylic 1-2 centimeter thickness. Rated for 850 psi. Operational depth pressure at 800 meter, 1160 psi. Your viewport is already operating beyond rated specification. Additional stress from specimen contact may compromise integrity. The company has calculated acceptable risk at 73% survival probability. This meets minimum operational standards. Protocol Section Kilo, Mission Objectives. Your operational objectives are as follows. Primary objective, resource extraction from designated coordinates. Mineral survey samples required from 3 collection points. Each collection point requires 1 5-minute stationary positioning. You are reminded that Guideline 3 advises against stationary positioning exceeding 10 minutes. The company acknowledges this contradiction. You are required to complete collection procedures despite guideline conflict. Secondary objective, photographic documentation of specimen if encountered. The company requires updated imagery for behavioral analysis. Previous documentation dates to 2021. Specimen appearance may have changed. You are advised to maintain minimum safe distance during photography. However, image resolution requirements necessitate proximity within 6 meter. The company acknowledges this presents risk. Tertiary objective, observational data regarding specimen aggregation behavior. If you encounter multiple specimens, document following parameters. Number of individuals. Approximate size of each. Spatial arrangement. Behavioral interaction patterns. Maintain observation for minimum 20 minutes if tactically feasible. The company understands this may not be feasible. Protocol Section Lima, Final Advisories. You are now prepared for descent operations in Suruga Bay Sector 9. Review the following final advisories before initiating descent sequence. Advisory 1. Specimen encounters are statistically probable. Previous operations in Sector 9 report 89% encounter rate. You should expect to observe at least 1 specimen during your descent. Prepare yourself mentally for this encounter. Advisory 2. Macrochaira kempferi are not hostile. They are territorial. They are defensive. They are opportunistic. If you do not present as threat or food source, specimens will likely ignore you. However, the company cannot guarantee specimen behavior. Advisory 3. Your bathyscaphe is not a predator. It is a large, slow-moving object. Specimens may investigate it. Investigation does not necessarily indicate hostile intent. Specimens may touch your hull. They may tap viewports. They may position themselves directly in your path. This is normal behavior. Remain calm. Advisory 4. Specimen has been present in Sector 9 for documented period of 61 years. If you encounter an exceptionally large specimen with extensive barnacle coverage, you have likely encountered. Specimen has never attacked human-operated vessels. It has attacked unmanned equipment on 11 documented occasions. The company theorizes it can distinguish between manned and unmanned vehicles. The mechanism for this distinction is unknown. Advisory 5. During your descent, you will pass through the wreck of destroyer Yamakaze. Sunk April 1944. Depth 680 meter. The wreck is structurally compromised. Do not enter interior spaces. Yamakaze is a known aggregation site for Macrocheira kempferi. Previous surveys documented 2-3 specimens within the wreck structure. They nest in the crew compartments. Advisory 6. The company has received reports from previous operators regarding unusual observations. Specifically, specimens appearing to exhibit coordinated behavior. Multiple individuals moving in synchronized patterns. Specimens positioning themselves to block escape routes. The company has no scientific explanation for these reports. Macrocheira kempferi are not social organisms. They do not hunt cooperatively. They do not demonstrate pack intelligence. These reports are likely perceptual errors induced by operational stress. However, if you observe such behavior, document it thoroughly. The company is interested in verifying these claims. Ascent time 4-5 minutes. Safety margin 1 hour. Protocol 7 Delta Kilo complete. Good luck, operator. You're going to need it.